back to the Dutch and Denver podcast. I am Dutch. I am in or around Denver, and this is Dutch and Denver podcast. Better? Uh, this is gonna be a Sunday night, just like relax and hang out kind of thing. For you guys, not for me. I'm not relaxing. Um, I was gonna try and not do this one, but it has to be done, man. I can't take it anymore. And this will be more like hopefully sports and not politics, but since politics are so jammed into fucking everything, there's gonna be a little bit of okay. Try not to worry though, because go from there. All right. First of all, let's cover something real quick, or be clear about something. Okay. Last podcast I talked about the Bud Light thing. It happened long before um I did the podcast back when I was still in LA. Okay. Bud Light fucked up and put a dude dressed as a chick as their spokesperson. People got pissed off and quit buying Bud Light. That is exactly what happened. Okay? Now, as that has gone on, there have been like reports that, Bud Light sales are down 20%, or Anheuser-Busch. We'll use those, together. Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light, doesn't matter. I mean the same thing. The sales have been down. They've lost 8 billion market, whatever. There's been a bunch of numbers. Okay? And this week, meaning like the prior couple days, these numbers came out, and a whole bunch of people are like, I just want to thank Matt Walsh and that Jeremy Nerd and a bunch of people from the Daily Wire for spearheading this. Let me be clear about something. And I think this is important, and no one stands up to these guys because they're on our team. But Matt Walsh and that little Jeremy Razors nerd and the rest of the people at Daily Wire did not start this Bud Light boycott. Okay? They jumped on the back of it after the rest of us. So they really didn't do anything. And I'm really tired of them taking credit for shit and getting credit for shit. First of all, you guys work for the Daily Wire. As far as I know, I think that's an internet news source. Awesome. You're on the right most of the time. You're still part of the problem. Because you guys bitch a lot about the left and everything, but none of you actually do anything. And I know that you having your shows and things like that do stuff. Okay. It gives people ideas and things like that. But none of your ideas have any actual substance. Okay? I mean, really, what is your plan for 2024? Like, which candidate do you endorse? And why? You haven't said that yet? Of course not. Because you're stuck between a rock and a hard spot. And if you do DeSantis, all the Trumpies will leave you. If you do Trump, all the DeSantis will. You don't care. You play the field. I understand. It's all about money. Yeah, and I get it. And part of me's okay with it. But what I'm not okay with is you taking credit or getting credit for things you didn't do. You didn't do that boycott. Let's be clear about that. The Gypsy, all of them can attest to this. As soon as I saw that on the internet, I was like, I'm done with Bud. I didn't need Matt Walsh or any of those nerds to tell me about it. Okay? And I guarantee you, all of the frat boys and rednecks didn't need anyone to tell them no. They made up their own mind. So, and I know maybe I'm overreacting about this, but I mean, again, fuck you guys. You don't do anything, but you're a mouthpiece for the right. You're not like, you're not Rush Limbaugh, which love him or hate him, and you all should love him. But Rush Limbaugh brought leftists to the right. Okay? He never turned off anybody from the right to the left. But he used logic and clear, concise. I mean, Rush was a man amongst boys. What you guys do is you just fire up your base. You've never convinced a lefty to be a righty. Which, again, I know it's money and I know that's what you're going for. But I don't want to hear shit from you guys anymore because you're not actually doing anything. You're just parroting what the right already believes, kind of. Yeah, I'm more pissed. Like, you didn't start this boycott. You just jumped on it like the internet bitches that you. So, you don't get credit for this. I still like you guys. You make some good points here and there. Um, but no, this boycott was not you. Okay? This was this was a grassroots thing, and I know everyone says grassroots, but grassroots, this was a bunch of individuals getting together to make one big thing. We did not fall under your banner or the Daily Wire or whatever and do this. So fuck yourselves. Coming back to that though, Bud Light is cleaning house. Some of them, or Anheuser-Busch, whatever, they're saying that it was an outside marketing group. At this point, I don't care who it was. I just want an apology. And it doesn't even have to be like, we're sorry for fucking up. I want it to be like, hey man, we shouldn't have done that. And we'll try and stay out of controversial topics from now on. And I'll come back. And I pray that they do, because I've been trying to drink Miller Lite, and that shit's fucking terrible. Miller Lite is disgusting. And what's Miller Lite's grown up version? No champagne and beers? Maybe I'll try that. But Miller Lite's fucking gross, man. Like I usually put like a sliver of lime in Corona, which makes it better. I'm putting like half a lime in Miller Lite to make it drinkable. So yeah, fuck you, Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. Like, this is what you're doing to me. I loved your beer. It was good. I drank a lot of it. And now I have to drink shit crap beer full of lime just to choke it down. But yeah, conservatives, fuck yourselves. All you internet media pussies, actually do something. And that'll bring me to, and I'm only going to say a couple things about it, because this is all getting out of hand. There's been a lot of shootings going on lately. And I'm sorry for the people that got. And I'm sorry for a lot of it. But for the 19 millionth time, guns are not the problem. Crazy people with guns are the problem. We need to bring asylums back and get crazy people off the street. Now the latest one in Texas was some Mexican guy. I'm assuming it's cartel related or just crazy Mexican. The Washington Post wants you to believe that he was a neo-Nazi with white supremacy shit. I find that really hard to believe if he was a Mexican. Now, it could be possible. There could be a neo-Nazi Mexican. Rare, but it could be. Again, the problem is not guns. Like, guns don't kill anyone. Like, you have to pull the trigger. Like, a crazy person does that. Okay? It's like cars. Cars aren't inherently dangerous. If a car sits in your driveway, it doesn't kill anyone. When a dumb shit gets behind the wheel, it kills people. Cars or guns don't inherently kill anyone. Um, it's when a dumb shit has a gun, people die. Okay, it's unfortunate, and I'm really sorry about it. But it's even if we had one mass shooting a day, now this is gonna sound crass and horrible, but one a day would only be 365 mass shooters, mass murderers. 365 crazy fucks out of what's the population of the United States? Uh, Let me look that up. Is it 600 million or 800 million? Population of hold on of United States. Okay, so according to Google, in 2021, there are 332 million people in the United States, and if 400 of them go off the rails, that's not a big percentage. 10% of, let's say 300 million just to make it easy. 10% would be 30 million. 1% would be 3 million. 300,000 would be a tenth of a percent. 30,000 would be 100th of a percent. 3,000 would be 1,000th of a percent. 300 would be a 10,000th. So a 10,000th of a percent, is that even a thing? Are mass shooters. Okay? Not very common. And that's if we had one a day. Two a day would probably be the same statistic. So it's not that common. It's just sensationalized by the media and things like that. Also, if everyone had a gun, we wouldn't have these problems. I mean, the guy got out of his car in the parking lot and walked up like loaded and started shooting people. If you get out of your car in, bulletproof vests with guns and stuff and everyone had a gun, someone in that parking lot's going to see you and just tap you and you'll be done. Um, but okay, it's bad because even one innocent life is bad being lost. Outlawing guns, not the answer though. Dealing with crazy people, that's the answer. And it again, if you're on the left or if you even on your right and you think that this is still the answer, like we got to get rid of guns, you're retarded, and I can't help you any longer. I'm sorry for the loss of life, but there's a better solution. Fucking lock the crazy people up. I mean, they're crazy. If they're in a nice, doesn't even, but if they're in a state hospital or something like that, fine. Uh, let's see. Okay, we'll do a little bit on the Royals. I guess there was a coronation, yes, of Charles III. And um I didn't even know except for Twitter. Thank you for that. But if you live in America as a United States citizen or someone applying for citizenship or asylum or anything like that, you no longer are allowed to give a fuck about the royals. Okay? Like we fought a war to get away from these fucking people. Now, yes, they are our allies. Okay? But as far as I know, the British royal family is essentially a figurehead. Like they don't have any real power. They're just there because of tradition. Okay? Which I'm totally on board with, okay? That cuz that was the other argument. Like is the monarchy obsolete and just, it's 2023. I mean, is this a tradition that needs to die? In the UK apparently not. But the rest of the world giving a shit? Yes. Okay, the UK can have their monarch and all that and have a great time with it. The fact that anyone outside of the UK gives a shit is baffling. Um, back to shit on more people on the right. Candace Owens, I don't know if you guys know this, but some black chick who is theoretically a conservative was saying that she's all for this because it's tradition and things like that. Awesome. Fine. But it's their tradition. It's not ours. We don't fucking care. We fought a war to get away from these people. I don't know what US celebrities are doing over there. US politicians is different. Maybe a sign of respect, but it doesn't really matter because they sent Jill Biden there. Dr. Jill. Joe wasn't even there. So not that important. The president didn't even show up. He was probably sleeping or eating oatmeal. But so yeah, part of me is like, yes, tradition, keep it. But if you're not British, who fucking cares? So Candace, shut up, nerd. You're an American. You don't care about that. If they want to have their traditions, fine. You don't need to have an opinion on it other than fuck the monarchy because we fought a war to get away from them. And yes, now there are allies, but the monarchy isn't. It's more of like Parliament and the UK as a whole because the monarchy, from what I understand, has little to no actual power. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, we have people on the right defending the monarchy, like, oh, it's a beautiful tradition. No, it's not. It's fucking stupid. We fought a war to get away from these people. And we won it, and now we're done with them. But if they want to continue onward, fine. You know, like if Sweden wants to have a king, awesome. Fuck Sweden. We're not Sweden. We don't care about the coronation of the Swedish king or the British, French, Italian, any other country but us. Well, they're our allies. Parliaments are allies. The rest of them aren't. You're dumb. Shut up. Okay. Let's do sports. Yesterday was the 149th Kentucky Derby. Yes, I lost money. Not the point. I guess in the week leading up to the Derby, 7 horses died. Kind of weird, right? Um, all I can think is that they died because they were pushed over their limit, which I think is wrong, absolutely wrong. Um, there's a trainer that was suspended indefinitely because I think 2 of his horses died, which good for him. And if it turns out that it was his fault, send him to fucking prison. Okay, these are essentially helpless animals that if you're doping them up or pushing them to their max and it ends up in their death, fuck you. You're a horrible human being. You should pay for that. The fact that 7 died though is, and they're being real hush hush about it. Like we're not sure how, unless I'm missing something. Which I mean, I'm fine researching further and seeing about that. But yeah, super fucking weird. Not cool. Generally, I mean, it's a Kentucky Derby. Like most of these horses, you know, the one Mage who won, that horse is going to be treated like a king for the rest of his fucking life, which I'm okay with because they'll breed him. He'll get to fuck his brains out. It'll be awesome for him. But for the 7 that 7 died right before, that's weird, and something's going on that needs to change. That's really bad and shitty. You know, that'd be like before the Super Bowl, you know, like half the players died prior to the Super Bowl. They're people, Dutch. You're right. They are. So let's knock it down to 10. You'd think something was up, right? That'd be weird. Very, very suspicious. So yeah, the Derby was not what it cracked up to be this year. I was working the yard, so I didn't get to a Derby party. Bummer. Uh, all right, let's move on to one more. We'll do some more sports. Cam Newton, you guys all know him. He's the one that the Broncos fucking destroyed his broke his confidence. The guy's a piece. This week on some sports talk or some interview or some shit said that his dreadlocks and his sense of style have held him back in the NFL. Let me clarify this for you, old Cam. The reason no one wants you is because you suck. It's got very little to do with your sense of style or your dreadlock. Because there's plenty of pieces of shit in the NFL that have made it because they're good. Like Michael Irving stabbed somebody with scissors. And I mean, nobody talks about that because he's good. Terrell Owens is out of his fucking mind. But nobody talks about that because he's good. Um, not Emmanuel Sanders. Who's the other guy? Brown. That guy is fucking crazy, and no one talked about that in the past because he was good. But now that he's older and not as good, we do talk about it because he's a problem. Okay, so in professional sports, you can literally get away with murder. Ray Lewis, O.J. Simpson, all those guys, because you're good at sports. Cam, you're not being held back because of your fashion or your dreadlocks. You're being held back because you suck and no one wants you on their team because you're bad at football. You're not a good quarterback. It's like the Kaepernick thing. Okay? Yes, his beliefs and his dumbassery is a cancer to a team, but he's just not good. Like, if he was good, people would overlook him being a complete fucking idiot and he would still be in the NFL. It's like Cam Newton. If you were good, we'd overlook you dressing like a fucking pinata with dreadlocks. And I just say that because he mentioned his dreadlocks. We would overlook that. And you clearly don't understand sports if you think that the way you dress affects whether or not a team is going to draft you. Now, yeah, I mean, I do understand, you're running $1 billion companies, which each team is basically a company. $1 billion companies, if your starting quarterback shows up dressed like a fucking pineapple and is shitty, I probably wouldn't hire him either. So, Cam, trust me, it's not your sense of fashion or lack thereof, and it's not your dreadlocks. It's the fact that you suck. Again, guys, this is professional sports. We don't necessarily care whether you're a good person, have a fashion sense, or anything like that. We only care that you're good at your respective sport and or position. Look at Tiger Woods. Guy, for all intents and purposes, used to be a bad person. I mean, he's married to a supermodel and banged hookers and shit like that. I didn't care because I didn't like Tiger because he was a good person. I liked him because he was good at golf. And if you're continuing to be good at golf and you bang hookers and be a shithead, okay. I'm not going to look up to you as a role model, and I'm not going to aim my kids in your direction. But you're still going to win championships and you're still going to have a good time. And I still love you, Tiger. So, Cam, if you're good at being a quarterback, nobody cares what you wear or that you have dreadlocks or any of that shit. Just be a good quarterback. But since you suck, you you have to play the victim and you can't be like, well, nobody wants to hire me because I suck. Well, that's the reason, man. That's it. You suck. And no one wants to hire you because you suck. Like Kaepernick. No one wants to hire you because you suck. Um, Now it doesn't help that you're a loudmouth fucking idiot, or Dick. So yeah, even you being mediocre, people are going to shy away from that because again, we have a brand to run, and if you're going to talk bad about the brand and say dumb shit, yeah, I'm probably not going to hire you. Same with Cam. You're going to dress like a fucking idiot and be horrible at your job. Yeah, I'm not even going to take a chance on you. All right. Let's move on to the last thing, the NBA. Number one, the MVP thing with Embry or Embry or whatever the fuck his name. The guy whined all year about it and ended up getting it. He's not the actual MVP because, I mean, if you guys want to go with stats, Jokic expect. And that should be the only thing that matters about MVP. Jokic's team plays better with him on it. Embry's team plays whatever the fuck his name. E. Team plays better without him. This was the overall overarching problem. This was they didn't want to give it to Jokic 3 times because he bitched about it all fucking year long. And they had to do it or they were gonna have some backlash. Maybe. I don't fuck. It's the NBA. Secondly, talk about the actual NBA. I don't watch the NBA during the regular season because it's fucking unwatchable. I don't watch the postseason because it's unwatchable unless the Nuggets are, and they are, and they're doing okay. I watch the finals just because, it's like the Super Bowl and I'm a sports fan. So, yes, I watch that aspect of it. Since the Nuggets are in it this year, I've been watching more basketball. And Higgins likes the Lakers. And when I was in LA, I had to watch some Laker games just to give him shit or whatever. But after tonight, I'm not sure I can do it anymore, man. This is the reason I don't watch. It's basically a soap opera. It's not basketball. Okay? I love March Madness because that is basketball. This is not basketball. This is a soap opera, a drama, a play, a a fixed whatever. Okay? The amount of fouls called is annoying. And they're not even real fouls. It's just when a certain player has the ball, if anyone's near him, they call a foul. Anyone goes into the paint, they call a foul. It doesn't matter whether there is one or not. They also call fouls in favor of East and West Coast teams. For instance, the Suns, and we're going to put the Suns on the West Coast just because Kevin Durant. But the Suns have like 1,000 free throw attempts, and the Nuggets have like 7. Okay, there's no way that that's real when the Nuggets are the number 1 seed. Possibly the best team in basketball. Okay? If you watch the Laker game, it is undecidedly in favor of the Lakers for calls. These guys bitch and complain, they get calls and everything like that. Fine. I get it. And now, if you just can sit back and accept that this is the way the NBA works, okay, then I can understand how you can watch it. Because chances are you're a fan of the Lakers who have never had the refs against them ever. And if if you're a Laker fan and you're like, oh yeah, the refs, you're dumb. You guys literally get all the calls all the time. Same with the Celtics, the Heat, any of the East West Coast teams. It's interesting, Golden State, who's a West Coast team, has to play the Lakers, and the refs undecidedly are 100% in the Lakers. Laker fans, 100%. So yes, if you can accept that it's fixed and that it's not taking, I mean, they're still very skilled. Don't get me wrong, but the refs are making a decidedly big difference in many of these games. And if you can accept that and still think that your team is good and wins a championship, great. If that's just inherently how basketball works now, fine. I get it. You as a fan. I cannot do that. I cannot have the refs and everybody else influence games to the point that it is clearly obvious that certain teams are above the rules and things like that. Like tonight, um, I don't know, the ball went out of bounds, and the owner of the Suns or some dipshit grabbed the ball and held onto it. A fan, courtside. Jokic went to take the ball from him. The guy might have pushed him. Jokic pushed back. Some other guy, a bunch of people attacked. It was a mess. Jokic got a technical, and some rando got thrown out. That's not basketball. That is a soap opera. That is a Jerry Springer fucking show at its best. Okay? Whoever the fan was who held onto the ball, and it wasn't like caught it, held it, threw it back, caught it, tucked it like a football, and wouldn't let anybody have it. I don't care if you're the owner of an NBA team, kick his ass the fuck out. Jesus. Also, the announcers have got. I mean, again, if you. I never mind. This is dumb. Because all you basketball fans will be like, man. Oh, here's my point. If you're still bitching about this, stop watching the NBA or shut the fuck up. But you know that's why I don't watch baseball anymore. Okay? I think the pitch clock, the reviews, all that crap is useless. I'm not watching baseball anymore. Simple as that. Baseball is my favorite sport in the world. I love it probably more than I would love my own children. But when you fuck with it, I'm not going to watch it. If you're going to screw with basketball, don't watch it. But if you're going to bitch about it and still watch it, that's my problem. That's like the person who keeps touching the hot stove. Every time I touch a hot stove, it burns my hand. So rather than stop touching the hot stove, you're going to continue to touch the hot stove and bitch about it every time. That's the definition of a goddamn moron. And that's what I think NBA fans. Sorry. Said it, it's horrible. Pika. Hey, what's up? Oh, it's been a long day. We're just we're doing a podcast and venting. And I feel like we should play some games, but I feel like trials is just gonna. So if, let's do that. Why not? Um, but yeah, hey, this is it. That's all I had to talk about. I think we covered everything. Yeah, Matt Walsh and all those nerds. Fuck them. The MVP dumb. Cam Newton dumb. Royals dumb. Candace Owens dumb. NBA dumb. The shootings gun dumb. Derby dumb. Wow. Well, we've covered a whole bunch of stupid. So this is what we're gonna do. I'm gonna end this podcast because I don't think my blood pressure can take anymore. I'm gonna go checking in on the Nuggets. I'm gonna grab a snack, make a drink, and then we're gonna go do. We might do trials for 2 minutes or 7 hours. but we're definitely not going to suffer what we did on Friday night. Pika, this is the podcast. This is not gaming. This is the podcast that I do and I post later to other things. And it's actually just wrapping up. But yeah, so like I said, take a break. I'm going to make a drink, grab a snack, things like that. 10, 20 minutes. And then I'm going to hop on and we're going to do trials. Competitive 3v3. And it might go good or bad. But I'm surely not going to sweat like I did Friday night. Okay. And then I got Pika here for a second. Elden Ring Thursday. So we can look forward to that. Everyone who watched podcast tonight and listens in the future, I appreciate it. You guys are great. All the socials at Dutch the Beast, at Dutch in Denver, Facebook, Twitter, all that cool stuff. And I appreciate it. I will be back in 10, 20 minutes for trials. PvP, Destiny, till our eyes bleed. Or I get frustrated. 2 or 10 minutes, you'll never know. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you on the next episode. Hopefully Higgins will be back. Until next time. Ah.